Back with the Fox News alert, ICE is making a major change to how it enforces immigration law. The agency is halting most vehicle stops nationwide, limiting them to operations targeting its highest priority criminal aliens. It's a significant shift because vehicle stops have been one of ICE's primary tools for arresting its targets. The change comes after a shooting during an ICE operation in Biddeford, Maine yesterday. Authorities say a 26-year-old Colombian man was shot and that he was not the target of the warrant being served. The shooting has sparked anti-ICE protests in Maine, including one demonstration outside of Senator Susan Collins' office. Watch.
Vote her out! Vote her out! Vote her out! Vote her out!
And with Graham Platter dropping out of the Maine Senate race, the Democrats who are looking to replace him are carrying his anti-ICE messaging.
We need a senator right now with the courage to stand up to this administration and demand accountability of this agency.
I think we are at the point where ICE needs to be abolished.
This must stop. We need to get ICE out of the streets.
Joining us now, Border Czar Tom Homan. Tom, thank you for joining us. I want to start with you laying out specifically what is this policy change. I tried to sum it up there in the intro. Not sure if I got it exactly correct. You tell me, sir, what is the change and why are you doing it?
Well, that decision was made by the Secretary along with leadership at ICE. But look, it's not a policy change. It's a temporary pause. Look, we had the last couple of shootings, ICE leadership along with DHS believes they want to look at these last couple of incidents and look, is there something that could have been done better? Is there any training that can be improved? Or it's simply ICE doing their job and bad things happen when people don't comply with law enforcement officers. So I think it's going to be a short pause, and I'm confident that ICE is well trained in vehicle stops, and you're going to see us keep moving forward. But this is just a temporary pause where they look at the incidents. But let me say this too, I hear a lot of noise right now. This is going to affect ICE arrests, and it's not going to. Look, I've done this for a long time. You can when that alien leaves his home before he gets into the car, you can arrest him then. You can wait till the vehicle gets to the destination and arrest him then. Every case is different. Now we know vehicle assaults are up over 3,400%. So if we can arrest that alien outside that vehicle and take that 2-ton weapon away from them, that's good in some instances. Other instances, we're going to still need to do vehicle stops for a significant criminal. You may want to stop him in a desolate area before he gets downtown. You certainly don't want to stop a criminal alien near a school that in the middle of recess with 100 kids in the playground. Right. There are so many circumstances these agents need to look at to make these decisions. So I do not think this short pause is going to affect the arrest, because the alien can be arrested before or after that vehicle. But this is, what I understand, talking to the director of ICE, it's a short pause just to make sure we're doing the right thing.
Well, let me challenge you a little bit, Tom, because in the more than 20 plus ICE ride-alongs that I have been fortunate to go along with and document and show our viewers and report on, the majority of them were done through traffic stops because, so that our audience understands, when ICE agents go out to make a targeted arrest of a criminal illegal alien, largely in sanctuary cities, they have to make an at-large arrest because the local officials did not cooperate to do the preferred method, which is in the jailhouse or in the court where it's peacefully done without a threat to anybody. But when it's at large, your ICE agents for years have preferred the traffic stop. When they come out of the house, they get in the car, it's a very controlled environment, and you have a car down the street to block, and it's pretty smooth unless they do try and flee, putting everyone in danger. But that has been the majority of the arrests I've seen. It is among your top operational methods. And so that's why I ask you, how does this not lead to significant arrest decreases?
Look, but bottom line, that's not a challenge, Grip. I just said there are options in addition to stopping the vehicle. There's an option when he walks out of the house, make the arrest now while you identify him before he gets in a 2-ton vehicle. There are options, you wait till he gets to his destination, make arrest. I'm not saying this is a mainstay of what we do, vehicle stops. But the temporary pause is a decision made just to make sure everything's good. But you know, there are other options that I think will keep those numbers driven up. Now, a lot of people are saying, I read, well, this is another example of ICE not doing mass deportations. Look, do you know last month, June, ICE had the highest numbers of arrests in the history of the agency.
Right.
Higher than any time last year. So operations continue, arrests are at record numbers, deportations at record numbers. This is simply a pause, a decision made by the Secretary and ICE, just to make sure that the officers remain safe and things are doing well. I think at the end of this review, which would be a short review, ICE will be right back to doing what they do.
I want to get your reaction to reporting, Tom, that this is born in some way out of insufficient training for new ICE recruits and agents. You've obviously hired thousands of new agents in the last several months, and perhaps this was being done because there's reporting out there that insufficient training may play a part, and possibly in the case in Biddeford, Maine. What say you?
Well, it's my understanding the officers involved in these shootings are well trained. They're not a part of that new hires. So, you know, I looked at just before I did this interview, Griff, I asked ICE to give me the training curriculum for the academy, and there's an extensive vehicle stop training, much like the Border Patrol has. So, again, we'll let this play out where it is, but I think ICE is going to continue doing record arrests, record removals, and this is, I wouldn't even call it bumping the road. I mean, this is going to be a short-term review, so ICE feels comfortable that their agents are safe, they're doing the right thing, and get back to, you know, doing what they do best, which is, you know, making vehicle stops. But like I said, I'll say it again, but there are options during this short time period to arrest a land before he gets in a moving weapon and arrest him after he stops. There are various stops. I've arrested aliens in all sorts of conditions in my career, and every arrest is different. All the extenuating circumstances for that arrest are different, and the agents are well trained to make those decisions. I think they're making the right decisions.
Border Czar Tom Homan. Tom, my friend, thank you for coming on, taking some of the tough questions. We'll continue to follow it and see where it goes. Thank you, sir.
You got it.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.